Hey ladies and gents, welcome back. This is going to be part 4 to What If Naruto Had All Chakra Natures. Now, in the last part, we left off with Naruto, Kakashi, and everybody pretty much completely wrecking Haku, Zabuza, and everybody like that, and completing the Land of Waves mission. So they return back to the village, and after a few weeks of training, doing pretty meaningless tasks, and doing not really anything else, they get really bored. And their boredom is actually cured one day when Kakashi walks up and tells them that he thinks that they should try out for the Chunin exams. And everybody gets excited by this, and they decide that they're going to join the Chunin exams and have some fun. And hopefully be promoted to Chunin in the process. So they pretty much agree to this, and they go to pretty much join and start the exams. So they show up, and the first part of the actual Chunin exams is the written exams. And Naruto is pretty or he's not like a god tier in intelligence, but he actually is a decent amount smarter than he was in the original. So he wouldn't be able to completely pass this test, but he would actually be able to figure out that he needs to pretty much cheat in order to actually pass it. So Naruto decides that he has to figure out how he's going to cheat. So he thinks about this for a little bit and decides that what he's going to do is go to the bathroom and leave a shadow clone there in the bathroom. And then when another student goes to the bathroom, Naruto will knock this or incapacitate this kid, transform into him, go back to his desk, copy all the answers, go back to the bathroom once again, and then it will poof itself. I don't remember what the actual word is, dispel or whatever it is, and then Naruto will gain that knowledge. And this would also mean that Naruto knows earlier on that he remembers everything that he remembers what shadow clones do, which will come in later on. So Naruto does this, and he actually passes the test. So the next part of the Chunin exams is the Forest of Death. And the Forest of Death starts relatively similarly, and it pretty much stays exactly the same up until the appearance of Orochimaru. And Naruto doesn't actually get eaten by a snake in this. He actually manages to use wood style and takes the snake out and pretty much just goes to meet up with the other two, realizing that they're probably in danger since that snake was a summoning. So when Naruto does arrive, he sees an imposter of himself, but quickly he sees that Sasuke just punched him in the face. And at this, Naruto arrives, and Orochimaru is there, and he revealed that he isn't Naruto, obviously. So now Naruto jumps into battle, thinking that he would actually be able to take on this seeming Genin, and he is gravely mistaken, because this Genin is much stronger than pretty much any of them there, including Naruto, who Naruto is insanely powerful. Yet, Naruto hasn't started using any of his wood style yet, so he thinks that maybe he has a chance of actually defeating him. Orochimaru is actually getting kind of intrigued by this kid because he sees two people here that he is tempted to get the bodies of, Naruto and Sasuke. Both of them have a lot of potential, but he honestly sees more in Naruto, because Naruto, he noticed, has displayed all 5 types of the nature transformations, and he feels like Naruto is still holding back, while Sasuke isn't even that powerful. Yeah, he has the Sharingan, but he isn't actually doing anything to actually harm Orochimaru. So Orochimaru thinks that, whatever, he can see what happens in the future. For now, he's gonna try to put a curse mark on both of them. And he successfully puts a curse mark on Sasuke, but Naruto dodges out of the way, and then he uses wood style to pretty much cut the head off of Orochimaru, or the snake, as he was extending out his head. Orochimaru pretty much gets a new body type of a thing, and he is pretty much fine, but now he looks at Naruto with even more interest. Now Naruto wasn't really holding back against him, and he could see that Naruto, without any experimentation, had wood style. If you took his body, he would have wood style, and think about all the opportunities you could have with wood style. Wood style is insanely powerful. with Sakura not really being able to do anything, and Sasuke pretty much incapacitated on the floor unconscious, or still maybe even screaming at this point, he can't really do anything against Orochimaru other than try to fend him off. But eventually, he can't actually fend Orochimaru off anymore, and he's about to be bitten on the neck. But just as he's about to be pretty much put a curse mark on, Naruto uses a new technique that, once again, he has developed on his own. He calls it Wood-style Almighty Push, which is fairly similar to what the Rinnegan ability is, except it's with wood instead of using pretty much gravitational forces. So Orochimaru is about to actually manage to get the curse mark off, but from beneath him, a giant, not necessarily slab, but like massive amounts of wood from below him slam him upwards into the air, sending him flying. And now, just beneath, right after Orochimaru has actually managed to adapt to being able to, not adapt, but when Orochimaru recovered from this, he's now looking down as he's been sent flying up into the air, and just as the actual wood that sent him flying upward cleared, he now was face to face with a giant spear that got sent flying upwards. Before Orochimaru can even react, this spear gets sent straight through him. And Orochimaru now actually feels a little bit of pain and fear because this giant spear took him off guard, meaning he can't exactly just recover from this. So Orochimaru retreats, thinking that this kid might be too much for even him, especially since he was holding back and not pretty much fighting with intent. Not necessarily to kill, but with intent to get the job done. He was playing around. He didn't really think that Naruto would have anywhere near this amount of power. Now, Naruto continues on, and Naruto isn't actually exhausted in this, because, yet again, he never actually had the need to get so angry that Kurama lent him some of his chakra. So Naruto is still awake when the Sound Ninja attack, or the Sound Genin attack. So it isn't Sakura this time that stands up and tries to face them, it's Naruto, except Naruto does a much, much better job than she did. Even going as far to pretty much instantly take down the really cocky one that that Sasuke pretty much ripped the arms off of. Naruto instantly takes him down and looks at the other two that are standing. They can't do anything to him, so they run away and leave him behind pretty much. Now, Naruto has the scroll that he needs, and he pretty much goes to the end of the Forest of Death with the rest of his team. Sasuke still hasn't woken up yet, so when he does wake up, he notices that he's on Naruto's back. And he freaks out at this, obviously, and pretty much just begins walking, pretty much mumbling to himself as he goes on. Obviously, probably telling Naruto a bunch of death threats. Now, Naruto continues on with the rest of the Chunin exams, or the rest of the Forest of Death, and they actually arrive at the ending, which is in the middle, and this is where they have their first encounter with Gaara. And Gaara is actually kind of intrigued by Naruto. Just, he can sense the amount of chakra and power, and he can sense that Naruto is probably, if not he or Naruto is probably the most powerful one there, and he knows that he's probably going to be facing him in the finals of the exams, which might actually happen. Now, they continue with that, and now it's the finals of the Forest of Death, or not Forest of Death, the finals of the Chunin exams, the preliminary rounds of the Chunin exams. So the fights pretty much go exactly like normally, or exactly like normal, until, or at least the fights that aren't involving Naruto. So Naruto easily wrecks Kiba and moves on. None of the other fights really change all that much, and Naruto still looks at Neji and pretty much is sympathizing for Hinata, and this gets him very angry, and he will still end up being really mad when he ends up fighting Neji in the finals. But before that happens, there's the 1 month gap in between. And when Naruto goes and trains with Jiraiya, he doesn't actually learn just a summoning jutsu. He actually learns a few different things. One of which being the Rasengan. With Naruto already having great understanding of chakra control, he pretty much learns this the very first day. Literally the first day. And Jiraiya thinks that maybe he can start Naruto off on sage training, because Naruto, with his vast amount of chakra, would maybe have a chance of learning how to do this, and he's like an insane prodigy. So he ends up taking Naruto to Mount Miyaboku, and they have about 3 weeks, we'll say 3 weeks left in order to train Naruto in trying to gain Sage Mode. And Naruto, actually, by the time his Sage training is, or like the 3 weeks is over, actually has perfect Sage Mode. And he has already surpassed Jiraiya in the fact that he's a perfect sage. So now they head back with Jiraiya just completely baffled at what Naruto is capable of, and they head back to the Chunin exams and the finals begin. Naruto fights Neji, and without even having to access Sage Mode, he completely wrecks him and gives him a talk no jutsu of how pretty much you don't necessarily need to be talented in order to be strong. Like, yeah, Naruto is talented, but look at Rock Lee. Rock Lee fought Gaara in the preliminaries, and you could just tell that Rock Lee wasn't a prodigy in any way. If anything, he was the opposite, which allowed him to train specifically in taijutsu, making him a lot like one of the stronger characters at this point. But the point is, he wasn't a prodigy, and he was fighting probably the strongest person there. And Neji now realizes that Naruto may actually be right, and he pretty much recontemplates what's going on with his life. And now, when Sasuke fights against Gaara, I'm going to make a little bit of a change here. Gaara actually remains under control the entire time and doesn't partially transform himself, and eventually he actually manages to take down Sasuke, and Sasuke loses. The reason Gaara is actually able to keep control over himself simply because he really wants to fight Naruto in the actual finals. So they actually do end up fighting in the finals. So now it's Naruto versus Gaara. Both of them at pretty much their peak performance, and they begin the fight. And Gaara has a pretty significant edge at the beginning of the battle when they're just using taijutsu. Naruto starts interloping his wood style in, and he pretty much evens out the battle now. And everybody is astonished by this battle, and astonished at how these two are just genin at this point. And obviously both of them are going to be promoted to Chunin at the end of this, but for now let's cover the battle. Now, the battle is very difficult for both sides, and Naruto actually is starting to gain a slight edge just because he has more chakra than Gaara. But both Naruto and Gaara start actually gaining some of their tailed beasts' chakra. And Naruto is starting to gain more and more of an edge over Gaara as the chakra of the QB pretty much starts taking control over him. Naruto gains up to the point where he's at 3 tails, and everybody in the stands is like insanely scared by this because Naruto is barely in control at this point. And at this point, Gaara is pretty much at his partially transformed state and barely managing to keep control and keep composure over himself. Now, the fight escalates from here. Gaara completely transforms, and Naruto gets pretty much kicked out of his state and reverts back to his base form. And Naruto now sends out a shadow clone to pretty much try to gain Sage Mode. And Naruto is getting beat up, getting completely wrecked by a literal tailed beast, and he can't do anything against this. Up until the point where Naruto dispels a shadow clone, and now in perfect Sage Mode, he's going up against Gaara with newfound confidence, and he's actually managing to take on Gaara now with even footing, and he's not even using anywhere near his full power. He's easily managing to take on this QB now, and now Naruto has a great edge over Gaara in the battle, and he actually manages to pretty much knock out Gaara, or not knock him out, wake him up, and he reverts back to being a human again. And Naruto now talks to Gaara and pretty much tells him that he's gonna probably have to kill him if he doesn't change his ways and not be an enemy of the Leaf Village. And this is pretty like a similar enough talk from what Naruto gave him in the original to change his attitude towards different things, and Naruto also tightens the seal, making his life a lot easier with the tailed beast inside of him. Now, it's easier for him to like sleep and do different everyday activities and not have to worry about I'm trying to remember the name of the Kyuubi, or not the Kyuubi. The Kyuubi is Karama. I'm trying to remember the name of the one, Shukaku. And so now he doesn't have to really worry about him anymore. So they pretty much continue on, and it's the end of the Chunin exams. And the following get promoted to Chunin: Naruto, Gaara, Shikamaru, and Sasuke doesn't get promoted, but Temari also does. So those are the 4 that get promoted, and that's where I'm going to leave this part off. Okay, I'm sorry if this part feels kind of rushed. That's because I was really in a hurry because I have to go to work in about half an hour. So I didn't really have that much time to like redo parts that I like messed up on or different things like that. So I'm really sorry for that. But I'll see you guys in the next part. Peace out. Bye.